This is crazy. Air traffic control in multiple cities are now being affected by government shutdown. New York, Dallas, Chicago, they're being affected. More air traffic control workers are now working without pay. They're calling in sick. And the FAA reported during the last 24 hours that the air traffic control began working without pay because of the shutdown. Meanwhile, the National Air Traffic Control Association reminded members it does not endorse, support, or condone federal employees participating in coordinated activities that could affect flight safety or cause delays. As reported, major airports including Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, Nashville are witnessing delays and disruptions due to reduced ATC staff. In some cases, approach and departure facilities have been closed temporarily. Due to this situation, pilots are forced to depend on peer-to-peer radio communication to safely manage airspace. Staffing shortages include an elevated number of workers calling in sick at the airport across the U.S., affecting major airports includes New York, Los Angeles, and Denver. Causing delays of over 6,000 flights across the U.S. The National Air Traffic Control Association is working with the FAA to tackle these disruptions, but the situation is still fluid and unpredictable. Now, let us hear some of the reactions from the locals.
If you're going to be flying here in the United States over the next few days, be prepared for delays. This comes as the government shutdown is continuing to, go on to now its 8th day. And in doing so, we're now seeing airports from Boston to Vegas to Chicago to Philadelphia experiencing a shortage of air traffic controllers. Remember that even though the government is shut down, a lot of people are furloughed, these people, their jobs are crucial. So they're still working, but they're not getting paid. Now we're hearing from the National Air Traffic Controllers Association reminding members not to endorse, support, or condone federal employees participating in coordinated activities that could affect flight safety or cause delays, meaning don't call out sick as a group just to punish X, Y, and Z. Union actually posted this warning on their own website saying that doing so is not only illegal, but it could also undermine the NATCA's credibility and severely weakens our ability to effectively advocate for you and your families. Pretty much telling members, don't as a group decide you're all just going to call out. One thing to keep in mind is that the FAA technically hasn't pulled the staffer trigger yet. So far, the FAA has not pulled what we call the staffing trigger. This is when FAA would go into an airport and say, hey, you don't have enough controllers here. We have to limit the amount of aircraft departing or arriving. This, of course, would cancel flights or delay them to a point to where you may have to just find a different way to get where you need to go. Bottom line is this, though. The longer that this shutdown goes on, the worse the headaches are going to happen at these airports.
We have breaking news right now. All flights going out of Nashville's airport will be severely delayed for an indefinite period moving forward as air traffic controllers continue to walk off the job essentially during this government shutdown. Nashville is now the latest airport to essentially be short-staffed, causing significant delays. According to CNN reporting, Nashville's air traffic control tower will go dark for periods of time this evening. It comes as air traffic controllers simply cannot afford to work right now. Chicago is experiencing soon massive delays. Nashville is telling its residents massive delays to come, and this is just the beginning. Folks, if air traffic controllers continue to walk off the jobs, you're going to have mass cancellations.
So because Republicans who control the House, the Senate, and the White House have decided to shut down the government instead of talking to us about how to protect Americans' health care, TSA workers and air traffic controllers are working without pay. If the shutdown goes longer, a lot of them are probably going to stop showing up for work without pay. And that's going to mean longer TSA lines and less safe flights. So when will the shutdown end, you ask? Well, that's a question for the Republicans, because Democrats are ready to vote for a bill that will reopen the government and protect Americans' health care.
Pay attention, because if you got travel plans, this might hit your wallet and your patience. Over 4,000 flights were delayed all across US on Monday. We're talking about Denver, Newark, Las Vegas, Phoenix, all feeling the ripple effect of a government shutdown. And it says that at Burbank Airport, the control tower was unmanned for over 5 hours, and planes were being directed remotely. In addition, it says that some of the air traffic control centers are now running with half of their staff because the majority of them are calling out sick. Because think about this, they have to work without even getting paid, and bills need to get paid. So a lot of them just go and get extra shifts at Uber rides or DoorDash or things like that. So thousands of flights are now relying on just a few eyes in the sky, and they're not even getting paid. And even if you don't travel that often, this reflects in shipping, fuel costs, and even ticket prices, which is all a domino effect in travel and economy. The sources are in the caption. As always, save this.
So make sure to leave a comment below. Tell us where you're from. Tell us how the shutting down of airports has affected your region, how it has affected your community. And do you think the Trump's administration is working or doing its best rather to stabilize the situation? Is it or is it biting more than it can chew? Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. See you on the next one.